I totally went blank.
Did you
Okay.
forget your name?
Yeah. I'm Stephanie,
I'm Meredith.
and welcome to This Is My Circus.
Very good.
What's up, girl?
Hey, I just love coming and like I speak to him before I speak to you. I speak to Rex first.
Most everybody does.
I apologize, but it's going to happen every time. You know
Well,
that, right?
he just wants to be in the mix.
Of
He's
course.
he's excited.
And thank you for letting me lay in your human-sized dog bed.
Is it not the best? So my sister, thank goodness, thank you, Carrie, tagged me in a post where it was 50% off
Oh
or
my
like
gosh.
40 or 50%
Yeah.
off. So I got it on Amazon and it is like the best. He's a huge dog.
Yes.
And so I get to cuddle with him. He likes to spoon. He likes to be the little spoon.
It was so funny. So y'all, I literally went and got in the dog bed. But so I was like, sorry, Steph, I just laid in your bed. But I was so comfortable in there. It's like got a nice minky feel. And
Hmm.
then like you were saying, it feels like egg crate, so it doesn't feel like it's gonna go
Yeah,
flat.
like the mattress toppers, like but a thick one,
Yes,
like a really thick one.
yes, it
Yeah.
was very nice. And then he just got right in with me and just laid down, like, okay, I'm ready to cuddle. It was adorable. Oh, and now he wants to play.
He's got his dinosaur.
Does have this dino. Um,
So how was your week?
it's pretty good. So Jackson got out of school last week
Hmm.
and they didn't have football practice last week or this week. And it's just been kind of almost boring because,
Hmm.
when they don't have stuff to go to, it's
You
like,
feel like you're, yeah,
yeah.
set
So,
still.
yeah. So I've been doing just a lot of yard work. Just I always tell Brandon, I'm just going to go piddle in my garden. And I just like to kind of pull it. I don't know. I love to work in the yard.
Hmm.
So that's been like where I've just been escaping to lately.
Yeah.
Just to and I told Brian yesterday, he was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm going outside. Like, I just need some space from the boys because Jackson's had like friends over these whole couple weeks, and I was like, I just need some space. I just need to get some fresh air. I just,
Hmm.
and I love them, and I love having them over, but sometimes, you just need to,
Decompress.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely. But it's been good. They start next week, getting super busy with. He's got football and basketball starts next week, so.
Gosh.
I know. I didn't know if he would do basketball this year, but he's wanting to. So, how about you? What you been up to?
Not a whole lot buying a dog bed.
Yes. Yeah.
No, really, like there's really not been a lot going on. It's been a very quiet week, thank
Hmm.
goodness. I
Yeah.
appreciate weeks like that.
Yeah.
Dylan, I think today was his last day.
Yay. So he's a junior.
Oh, let's not talk about it.
Okay.
We don't count that until
Okay.
first
First day of
day.
school.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, he's just working through the summer. He wants to
Yeah.
go to a couple of concerts, so we're gonna do
Who's he? Jackson told me that he wanted to go to some. Who is Dylan going
Kevin
to?
Gates.
Okay.
And
I don't know who that is, but
so he wanted to go see Zach Bryan, but we did not go because it was in Greenville, and I was like, I'm not
yeah.
driving there. I want to go to the Morgan Wallen concert,
Oh, yeah. I thought that looked good too.
but the tickets are so crazy here. It would have been cheaper to get a hotel in Nashville
And to
and go
do
to the
that,
Nashville concert because the tickets were so much cheaper there.
I wonder why they're so expensive.
I don't know. It's crazy here. So I don't know if we're gonna do Morgan Wallen, but he
Yeah.
definitely wants to go to the
Yeah.
Kevin Gates concert, and I
Yeah.
told him that we could do that.
Nice.
And there was one or two other people
Okay.
he wanted to go see.
Are these at the outside pavilion that Charlotte has, or?
Well, I'm not really sure if
Okay.
it was at the pavilion or not. He sent me a link to buy
Offer.
tickets.
Hey, Mom, buy these.
Well, I had sent him the link to the $25 summer tickets
Yeah.
where it's like there's like
Is it the country thing?
it's the lawn seats there,
Yeah,
but it
yeah,
has
yeah, yeah.
all the different concerts.
Mm-hmm.
And the lawn seats were $25 each. And so I sent him the link and he didn't like really seem super interested in anything there.
Hmm.
I was like, you don't want to go to these?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah. Is that the one that like Tim McGraw was in? Do you
Mhm.
remember? Okay, yeah. A friend was telling me about those.
Yeah. So he wasn't like super crazy, but we are going to go to the PLL, the Premier Lacrosse League. It's like the
Mm.
professional lacrosse
Mhm.
league. Actually, now have home cities,
Oh,
which this is the first year that they're doing that. So Charlotte has their own
we have
team.
our own.
Hmm.
What is it called? Do you know?
Charlotte Chaos, I
Okay.
think. But
Appropriate.
yeah, but they will be here June 7th and 8th. So we're gonna go to see that. So that will be exciting. We've done that the past couple of years.
Good.
So yeah, he's
Good.
excited about that.
Well, you've got some fun stuff planned this summer.
Well, I go day by day.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't jinx it.
Well, if you need somebody to hang at the pool with you, you just gotta call.
Girl, you can come over anytime.
Don't tempt me.
I was actually thinking we needed to have like a mom's afternoon.
That'd be fun.
I mean, of course, the kids can come on a different day with us, but
Yeah.
for just like to just chill.
Uh-huh.
Or we can do our after dark show
That's what we should do.
in the
I
pool.
was yeah. Or just by the pool.
I got one of those big round, like those giant loungy things, the big circles.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We can do it from there. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Y'all, let us know if you want us to do an after dark ep.
I think it'd be great, but I don't want to put it out there if people won't care. So, yeah, let us know.
What did you think of the book this week? What did we read first?
We read The Clinic
Yes.
by Cate Quinn.
Yes.
And it was okay. I'll let you read the blurb.
Okay. Meg works for a casino in LA, catching cheaters and popping a few too many pills to cope, following a far different path than her sister Haley, a famous actress. But suddenly, reports surface of Haley dying at the remote rehab facility where she had been forced to go get her addictions under control. There are whispers of suicide, but Meg can't believe it. She decides the best way to find out what happened to her sister is to check herself in, to investigate what really happened from the inside. Battling her own addictions and figuring out the truth will be much more difficult than she imagines, far away from friends, family, and anyone who could help her. So that's the description on Amazon.
Yes.
I liked it so much. You know what? I had such a bad experience last week.
Yeah.
So
Was anything
this
going to be better than that one?
it was. But I immediately thought of Britney Spears, like of like the super
Oh,
bougie rehab facility
oh yeah.
and
Yep.
then like the darker side of it.
Yes.
So that is kind of where my mind went
Yep.
from the start.
Yep. And I guess we should probably throw some trigger warnings in here
Yes.
for
Yes.
substance abuse, self-inflicted, self-harm, physical abuse, a lot of different
And a
things.
lot of addictions.
Yes, a lot of
There was like
addictions.
all over the place
Yeah,
addictions.
yeah.
And then also I think I don't know if there's like an actual term for it, but like medical abuse, like doctors taking
Mm-hmm.
advantage, maybe
Mm-hmm.
kind of abuse.
Yeah.
Um,
Is that libel?
I don't really
I don't
know.
know either. So it's not that I didn't like it. To me, it's kind of forgettable.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like in the moment, I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I want to find out this information and I want to know this.
hmm
And the ending was really cool, but it was when you were asking me about it, like I had to think about it. It
Yeah.
wasn't like bam
Yeah.
in my head. So not a bad book, just not like one that I'm like really gung ho for.
Right. So the doctor, I think he wanted to portray this like hippie vibe, is how I kind of felt like it.
Okay.
But he was more like cult leader
Yes.
vibe, I think. Like,
Yes.
so the contrast, and I'm sure that's what the author was going for.
Well, with it being like a super bougie rehab, so I think there were like 5 or 6 patients
Mhm.
in this rehab, and they were like eating venison for dinner, like all the it was fancy and bougie and
Yeah.
very expensive. So it was a little out there, but it was still fascinating to hear some of the things that happened in the rehab facility.
So I felt like it went on a little bit too long. I felt like it could have been wrapped up sooner.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of chapters.
Mm-hmm.
But because the chapters were
They're
short,
very short.
it wasn't like terrible,
Yeah.
where you were like, oh my God.
Droning on.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. The chapters, so I'm assuming you listened to it.
Yeah.
Like 5-minute chapters.
Yeah.
There was a lot of information in there that wasn't really relevant.
Mhm.
And I know that you have to have a little bit of that, but it just felt like a little bit too much. I'd agree.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why, like I said, it was just,
Yeah. I would give it probably like a 7,
yeah,
but I felt like it went on too long.
yeah,
But it kept me interested the whole time
Yeah.
because I thought I knew what was going to happen.
I did not predict the
Did
ending at all.
not
Yeah,
know what was going to happen,
Yeah.
and that happened to me 2 or 3 times.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
It's definitely not like anything I've ever read.
right.
I'll say that. Like it's not a predictable where you know this, that, and the other. Nothing that I've read has had these twists to it that this one had, which was it was cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was about it that just
It didn't jive for you.
mm-mm.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And it's probably like fresh on my mind because I just finished it this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like listen to books like when I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
So it was nice that I didn't have to wait 2 hours for a chapter to be over.
Yeah. Do you do the
And
little bookmarks in
mhm,
case you fall asleep?
yeah. And I also put the timer on.
Yeah.
So I know, well, I
It'll
just
cut
go
off
back,
eventually.
I'll have
Yeah.
to go back 30 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever the
Yeah.
timer was on for if I fall asleep really quick. I definitely did not see the ending.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 or 3 twists at the end
There
that
were.
caught me off guard.
What did you think about, well, I don't really want to give spoilers.
Well, here's a spoiler alert, guys. So
Okay.
if you haven't read it yet, skip like a minute.
Yeah. Hit that forward button a few times. Yeah. So at the end of the book, we find out that her sister was one of the patients.
Yes.
And so the sister kept looking at the undercover girl, and I don't know how to explain it. Help me out here. You don't know what I'm trying to
So,
say either.
so
So she was like, I recognize you. I recognize you.
right.
But she never like put it with the fact that it was her sister.
So the sister was reported as dead,
Yes.
and she got plastic surgery and stuff to
Mm-hmm.
make herself look different, and
Mm-hmm.
was still a patient in this facility
Yes.
working with the doctor.
Right. Also, people had seen her body, and she had also,
They had cremated her.
right, she had taken medicine to like lower her heart rate and slow all that down. So she did appear to be dead. Yeah, like I said, that was just a different twist for me,
Mhm.
and appreciated it,
Right.
but I did not see it coming at all.
No, me either.
That was probably the biggest twist for me, is because I thought that she was, if she was in there, she was going to end up being like, I don't know, somebody other than the one that it was.
Thought she was being like held captive in the basement
Oh, did you?
somewhere. Like I
Okay.
thought that they were, doing something, some kind of experiment. I didn't
Yeah.
know what they were doing, but
Yeah.
I did not see that happening.
It made me also just really think about addiction, and we all have our addictions, whether they're big or small or whatever, I like cookies. So that, but I mean, and not to make light of what addiction is, but just hearing some of the stories that they shared through the book, and, when they come to the facility, the way that they would hide medications in certain places and the things, that was really sad.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was really sad to me to hear that.
So, what's our book next week?
Our book next week is called What Lies in the Woods by Cate Alice Marshall. And we did release our book list.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the video graphic you made. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That list has got a lot of things random. I wanted to do some stuff with different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled some of that stuff in there too, from just different backgrounds, just to try to, see what's out there.
Yeah. When you sent me that list, I was like, "Ooh, this is random."
Yes. Yes.
All sorts of random.
It is. It is. So I just wanted there's some Hispanic books on there, and I think there's a couple of African American books on there. I did the Tattooist of Auschwitz,
I did see that, yeah.
and I think I've read that before, but like I said, just to pull in some different demographics, I thought it would be good for us and our brains.
Yes. So we had read The Kind Worth Killing
Yes.
several weeks ago, and you're like, I want like an update on what happened.
Is there one?
So the same same author obviously wrote The Kind Worth Saving.
Shut up.
And it's not like super spin-off, but he brings in the first book.
Is it out?
Yeah. It's on Hoopla.
Do you want to do that next?
Okay. I mean, I listened to it. It was awesome. So yeah,
Okay.
if you want to, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll push.
We're gonna, push
the-
everything down.
Yeah.
And next week we'll do The Kind Worth Saving.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this book was, I think, almost better than the last book.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so The Kind Worth Killing was the one that we talked about, that like the last 2 minutes is just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. And you're like, what happened?
Uh-huh.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, we
I don't
said
know
that we
how-
wanted the
Yeah.
extension.
The world listens to us.
We just manifested into
Yes.
reality.
That's true. That's true. Thanks, Nichole.
Even though,
Yeah.
even though this has been out for some time, I just searched his name and I was like, oh my gosh, I saw the character Lily
Yeah.
in the description when I was reading it. I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. The Kind Worth Saving.
yes.
Okay.
And
Good.
that is by Peter Swanson.
Okay.
So that will be next week. And then everything on our book list, we will push down 1 week.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Do you watch Bridgerton?
No, I watched the first 2 seasons. I have not watched this last season.
Oh my gosh. It is so fun. I love it.
Well, I actually just finished, I like binge watched because it's like true crimey.
Yeah.
It is called Under the Bridge.
Okay.
And I watched it on Hulu. It might be on other platforms. but it is based off the murder of Rena Verk, and this is a true story.
Okay.
And I didn't realize that when I started watching it. I was just like, oh, there's a new show on Hulu.
Right.
Let me start watching it. And afterwards, I realized that it was based off of this true story
Okay.
and this author who wrote the book on the whole situation, which the author is part of the show. It's her writing the book.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
cool. Like
Okay.
it's only 8 episodes
Okay.
for the series. So the book is called Under the Bridge by
Mm-hmm.
Rebecca Godfrey.
Okay.
I didn't realize it took place in Canada
Okay.
until, and I'm sure that
Did they say oi a lot? Oi.
no, well, but I'm sure they had said it
Yeah.
at some point and I
Yeah.
just missed it. But they were in the courtroom and like I was like, why are they all dressed so funny? Like,
Do they have wigs on?
no, it's like the roughly like
Oh, yeah.
all the attorneys.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
suits and ties. It was
Right.
like their gowns or whatever, or their
Yeah.
robes.
Yes.
I'm like, well, that's weird. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Canada.
I forget that they do that in
Like,
Canada.
yeah,
That it's still a thing.
yeah. But it was like so crazy to me. It's this teenage girl that gets beaten to death by her friends, beaten and then like drowned.
Okay.
And it's the whole story
Oh,
of
okay.
all these different points of views. And then the author who's writing this book and like a little bit of her background. She grew up in that town, came back
Mm-hmm.
from New York to do this book. And like, I mean, like
Oh, okay.
it was so interesting to me.
Okay.
And then you've got like the kids that are from low income
Yep.
or no income, like they're some of the kids live in like a foster home,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got like the super rich girl,
Mm-hmm.
and this is all supposedly like pretty accurate.
Okay.
So like the whole premise of it was interesting to me to begin with because it's true crimey.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you realize that it's a true story, and then realizing our kids are the same age as these kids doing
Yeah.
these things,
Oh,
and it
yeah.
just blew my mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you guys are looking for a new series to watch, it's only again 8 episodes.
Okay. Where was it? Netflix?
Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
That
Okay. That sounds interesting.
yeah. So I was, they're interviewing these kids, the police. Have you ever been interviewed by the police?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. Have you?
Yes.
I think I would remember that if I had been.
I was 16. A horrible thing happened the night of, not at my Sweet 16, but the night of my Sweet 16 with people that we didn't know.
Okay.
And they were supposed to come to my Sweet 16 party and they did not show up.
Okay.
So I guess the police had heard of the party
Mm-hmm.
and came to my school, pulled me out of
Oh
class, and
no.
questioned me at school. So my father was livid,
Yeah. Yeah.
like beyond mad,
Yeah.
that they questioned me, one without an adult,
Mm-hmm.
that the school allowed them to just pull me out of class, and
Yeah.
it was like super like weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my only time I've ever been questioned.
Were you terrified?
Here.
But just having like when I pass a cop car
Mhm.
or if they're stopped and the blue lights are going, I get nervous even though I know that somebody else is pulled.
I was scared at first because I thought something horrible
Had
happened.
happened to your family
Yeah.
or something.
And then
Yeah.
they got into this other stuff, and I was like, whoa, they weren't even there.
Yeah. When they were questioning you, did they tell you that something had happened to the other people or whatever the situation
They
was?
were asking,
They
well,
they were like, were they there?
right.
Okay.
And it was a couple days, I think a couple days after my party. It wasn't
Okay.
like, so we all knew this thing had occurred
Okay.
already.
Okay.
And I don't really want to say it because it was a horrible,
Yeah.
horrible,
Yeah.
horrible thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah. So, but people already knew. So
yeah.
once they started talking, it's not like you were floored by what had happened.
Right. No. But they were like, were they at your party? Were these people at your party?
Yeah.
Who was at your party? And like it was
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. I could see that would be traumatic.
Yeah. So but watching these kids getting interviewed,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Well, that's like the Damien Eccles
hmm
and what's it called? The Mississippi 3,
hmm
where I think they were a little bit older, him and two other kids that were accused of assaulting the kids and killing them, and they were high school, 17 or so. And I mean, Dylan will be 17 this year.
I know.
Can you imagine our kids in these situations?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. No, I thank God, like the things that I was doing at Dylan's age.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that they have such a different, I don't want to say friend group because my friends were like awesome, but
Yeah.
like, I mean,
Yeah.
like they just aren't out there doing the bad things that,
I feel like kids now are almost they're smarter and dumber.
yeah. I
And,
they
and
don't have like all of the, I don't even know how to like say it. Like, I think that they grew up in such like a on the phone and like a
yeah.
digital age
Yeah.
that the stuff that we were doing isn't even a thought,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's not even in their scope because they're, yeah. Do you know what I realized the other day? So Jackson had some friends over and we were talking and I was like, does anybody smoke? That's what I said. And I'm thinking cigarettes because when we grew up, it was, cigarettes. That's what you say when you smoke. And then if they smoked marijuana, you said smoke weed. And I was like, and they were like, yeah, a lot of people smoke. I was like, where do they even buy the cigarettes anymore? And they were like, no, no. And I was like, oh, so that's what they say now.
Yeah.
Like they don't even have to, I guess so many, few people smoke cigarettes
Yeah.
that that's not even a thing.
Yeah.
It is. So I was like, well, I'm officially older than I thought I was. So,
Well, Dylan said when he was still going to Clover that people were like smoking the vape,
hmm
but it was weed, the
Yeah.
weed vape or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't
I don't know a lot about that.
partake in
Yeah.
that, so I don't
Yeah.
really know all the terms. But all the time in the bathrooms,
Oh, I'm sure.
one kid, I don't know what he was on or if it was laced with something, but
hmm
like got taken out on a stretcher in the lunchroom one day from whatever he had smoked.
So Jackson was called a few weeks ago, well, I guess probably about a month ago now, to do a drug test because being an athlete, they do random drug tests.
Really?
hmm
I didn't.
And I had forgotten because there was big stinks on some of the social media posts about my kid was called and they can't they ask me? Well, it's when I went back
It's
and
on the
looked, it's
paperwork.
in the
Yeah.
paperwork that says this might happen. This is a
Yep.
thing. And yeah, he was he was called, and Juicy, his other friend, was called as well. So they were kind of nervous because, and
Were they
we're like,
nervous about?
right, we're like, Jackson said he wasn't too bad. He just didn't know like really what to do. And I was like, you pee
Being a
in the
cup.
cup. And he was like, but then I didn't know where to put it and what I was like, but
I could see that though. Like
yeah,
I could see like
yeah,
not necessarily being nervous
about the
the
results,
result,
but
but
just the process.
right.
And Juicy was like, he was texting his mom, and he was like, I'm chewing gum. Is that okay? And she was like, you realize like you pee, right? Like that has nothing to do with it. She was like, you'll be fine. Just do what they tell you to do.
A conversation like I've ever had with Dylan
Right.
of how if you get called in to do this random drug
This
test,
is how you, yeah,
this
I
is
had
what
either,
you to expect. I would, it's just not a conversation. I've
yeah,
had many conversations I, you know, I as a parent wasn't quite ready for, but
yeah,
that was just never one of
right,
them.
right.
So I can understand why they would be like nervous to go through that
Like,
process.
what am I supposed to be doing?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was interesting hearing their feedback on that. I remember when I had a drug test when I was starting a new job a couple of years ago, and they took my phone and everything, my purse, and they had a locker, and you put everything in your locker, and they give you the key, and you go and use the restroom, and there was no sink in there, and they tell you not to flush it. Like they had the handle like all taped up and stuff, I guess, so they can check and see what,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. So I asked Jackson, I was like, were you allowed to take your phone and stuff in there? And he was like, yeah. It wasn't a big deal. I was like, did they watch you? And he was like, no.
So Brandon, when he got hired at his job in Tennessee,
Mm,
he was training in Michigan, but he had to go through, the drug
uh-huh.
test and
Yeah.
everything. So they actually did a hair test.
Oh,
And so he said, well, what happens like when somebody comes into your face like shaved?
yeah.
The lady said,
Oh,
she said, they always miss one spot. We always tell them to bend over and spread them.
oh no. Oh no.
I just was like, oh my,
Oh
that's not a job I would want.
no.
No. Like, I guess if you're really afraid you're gonna fail, I guess that's not the place that they think. that it would be
Right.
taken from. And she said that they've come in like entire bodies shaved, and there's always that one spot that they.
That they couldn't quite reach.
So if you're trying to dodge your your hair test,
Wax your crack.
yeah, that'll be our new tagline.
Hashtag wax your crack. Um, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know
That
how.
would hurt so bad.
Have you ever gotten a Brazilian wax?
No, I've not. Not the Brazilian, but more, yeah. But I've been waxed in that area, and that's, I mean, it's not pleasant, but it's not miserable. Have you?
Yes. But
Terrible?
no, but I think I like your body just gets. I have a
Yeah.
I think I have a very high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Right.
hurt as bad as I thought it was going to. Or maybe
Yeah.
my expectation was like, oh my God, this is
Right.
gonna kill me.
Yeah.
And
It
didn't
wasn't as
bother
bad
me.
as, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I take a little bit of wax and put it on Jackson or Brian's unibrow and take it off, and you would think that there was death in their life.
Boys just don't.
Mm-mm.
You know, everything's a big deal.
It is.
It's like the man flu.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go off the rails again today.
Sure. Well, we just did.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you know, I watch Jaguar Wright's all her
Yes.
interviews because it's like fascinating to
It
me.
is.
So
She has since we've talked and I started following her, I get some of her
yeah,
notifications.
I don't know. I'm just so amazed that
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she's got like a hit out on her,
Oh gosh, yeah.
but
I don't know how she's staying safe.
I don't either. But I just saw a clip of an interview she did where she called out Tyrese and said, Tyrese, this is not a direct quote, but what happened to Paul Walker? You know what happened to Paul Walker? Paul Walker's dead, you're alive. And she said that Paul Walker, was about to do a documentary on human trafficking. And then
Oh my gosh.
shortly after, his car crashed.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know how true it is, but yeah, she called out Tyrese and said, what happened to Paul?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that was one I was not expecting.
Right.
That threw me for a loop.
I have started watching, and I didn't get finished with it, the TMZ documentary on P. Diddy.
Oh, I have not watched it yet.
I need to finish it, but it's, it's got some stuff in there too.
And I don't know, like, because I didn't watch it. Is it like more in support of him?
No, I didn't feel like it was. Now, again, I'm maybe a third of the way through, so who knows how but no, I feel like it's very unbiased, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
TMZ usually does a pretty good job, though.
Did you go on Tubi to watch it? Isn't that where
I
it
might be
was?
there. I might be there. I don't know. But it popped up in on my home screen of my smart TV. It shows you what you might be interested in.
It showed me that too, and I was like, oh, I just don't have time to.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish Under the Bridge, and I
Yeah.
was like, maybe tomorrow.
Well, I had time, and so it must have been Tubi. I downloaded it and started watching it, but why not? I had space. I had storage on my stick.
Well, a new documentary just came out about Nick Carter and Aaron Carter.
Really?
And it is supposed to be like pretty intense. So that
Okay.
is the next thing that I would, because
Yeah.
I loved the Backstreet Boys back in the day.
Yes, that's another one that's just got my attention. I'll have to watch that one
Yeah,
too.
and like a bunch of women came out against Nick. And then and I guess because this documentary came out, I keep getting all these Aaron Carter clips that pop up on my page now with him saying how horrible Nick was to him growing
Oh,
up.
wow.
So this, like, all these documentaries coming out are just ruining my whole childhood.
I know. I know. I saw a video clip, I think it was on TikTok, and it was New Kids on the Block on Dance Party USA. And first of all, the clothes that they're wearing, did you see it? The clothes they're wearing is terrible, and they're doing like the party dance line thing where it's a guy on one side and a girl, and they like walk down and they dance together. And the dances are ridiculous, and it's just everything about the early 90s, late 80s. Yeah,
the clothes,
Yeah. Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
There's certain things that I pray never come back.
yeah.
Um,
You know what shoes I saw are coming back? Do you remember the ones? I remember wearing them to a club. They were black and like they had like one wide strap. They were like
oh
flip-flops
God,
across the, you know exactly what I'm
yes,
talking about. I saw a thing that those are coming back.
no,
I can hear them.
yeah,
I can hear them. I can remember falling in them a couple times.
yes, things like I don't understand why they come back.
No,
Like the mullet. Why did the mullet ever come
I don't
back?
know.
Why?
I don't
Every time I
know.
see somebody with a mullet, I think of Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, and as soon as I think it's like phasing back out again, I see more kids with it. And I'm
Yes.
like, why?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, I'm
no.
not a fan.
No. There's, yeah, those, like those jelly shoes, when the jelly shoes came
Oh
back,
gosh, yeah.
those things were
And they're
terrible. They were
painful.
terrible the first
I remember
round.
my mom spanked us with them. Don't turn her in. She's not with us anymore anyway, so
We were at s- Walmart a
uh-huh.
couple of years ago, and Dylan was just being a smart aleck, and we were with a couple of his friends. And I'm like, Dylan, if you don't quit, I'm going to take off my flip flop and I'm going to hit you with my flip flop.
Yes.
And we were in Walmart, so
Yeah.
you do what
Yeah.
you do Walmart things
You were
now.
you were fitting. It's like you walk in and all of a sudden you're living in the backwoods,
So
Alabama.
he wouldn't. He was just like being a smart aleck. And I mean, this is me coming back to me.
Yeah.
And so I took off my flip flop, and he went to run, and I threw it at him.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
His friends were laughing so hard.
Uh-huh. That is great. That's great. Did you get spanked as a child though? Was that, I
Um,
mean,
I I was the good one.
yeah, yeah. I didn't get spanked a lot, but my sister and I fought all the
Okay,
time.
so yeah, we definitely did that, but I don't.
So,
I think I got spanked like once or twice.
yeah. I think that for my mom to kind of separate us, she's just started fighting with us too.
My mom did the wash your mouth out with soap.
Yeah.
That was not good, and I remember they were out of bar soap, and my mom used dish soap on
Ugh.
everything.
For talking back, I'm assuming
Or
bad
yes,
language.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we did get that, and the bar soap was awful because then it would like scrape your teeth.
Oh, and it was like there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we did get that, but I didn't.
You didn't really.
I was
Yeah.
pretty well behaved as far as I knew.
We were both good kids, but we would just fight.
By the time they got to me, because I was the fourth,
Yes.
each kid gets
Yeah.
more lenient.
A little more lax.
So I say I'm the good one, but I think that their expectations were the bar was pretty low by that point,
Right.
and
Right.
so
Yeah.
I was perceived.
I remember my sister and I just having like, girls scratch and fight and bite, like scratch marks up and down each other's arms where we would just, we're
Yeah,
so mean to each other.
yeah. I was definitely. Did you get into like fights at school or anything?
No,
Oh,
never. But you did. I feel like we're a lot alike yet so different. I never have gotten in a fight.
oh,
Want to
trying to
go
think.
right now just so I can say I have?
Mm. I hung up my gloves.
Did
Um,
you get into a lot of fights at school?
well, a couple in school, and then like, oh God, I can't believe I'm putting this out there. Bar fights.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Like it wasn't like I was starting them. If you're going to pull my hair or push
Oh,
me,
yeah.
I don't like scratch.
Yeah.
Brandon was like, you are. He said that like the one girl pulled my hair, I think, and he's like, you just became like a spider monkey. He's like, you just jumped and like on the ground, he said he was like pulling me off.
Like pulling you off and your legs and arms are still going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been in my fair share.
Like escorted out of the bar club.
We knew a lot of the bouncers and the bartenders.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah, I was feisty in my younger days.
That's funny. So did you ever see the movie Roadhouse with
Mm-mm,
Patrick Swayze?
mm-mm.
There's a new one. Same concept, but it's just new. And Brian and I watched it and we looked at each other like, this is terrible. This is just terrible.
Yeah, those are my younger days though. But yeah, so
We're-
I would still, I'm sure if it came to it, because I run my mouth a lot. So that probably won't be my last fight. But
I try not to, but sometimes, the worst is basketball. I don't know why. I think it's just because it's inside and it's loud and there's so many people and the fans don't really separate. That's the one that gets me.
I don't feel like both sets of parents, like the team, I do think that they should be
But yes.
separated.
Well, and a lot of times, like it's obvious we've all got on Clover, our Clover shirts or whatever, and then you see this family that has on the other come sit right in the middle. Like, why?
Yeah.
Um, so Brian almost got in a fight at a soccer game one time.
No.
Yep. So Jackson was playing, and he was probably 8 years old, if that, and he was playing goalie, and we were in a tournament, and we were way out of our league. Like these kids were so good and we just kind of like had a little rec team thrown together that we had taken and Jackson was playing, great. He was doing as good as he could. Well, they took him out of the goal and he was running around on the field. He's always been one of the bigger kids.
Yep.
And he knocked some kid down. Well, I mean, it's whatever. Brian had a broken foot at this time. So he's already looking kind of pitiful. Well, every sport, the parents have like a different vibe, right? So soccer families, for the most part, are a little more put together, kind of. We are more of a football family where we're going to yell and holler and, hit somebody kind of thing.
Mhm.
Well, this dude, I'll never forget what he looked like. He had on his little like Vineyard Vines hat. He had a sweater like tied around his shoulders and his little,
Not our people.
not my people at all. And he was like holding a drink in his hand, like a Starbucks or Dunkin' cup. And his pinky was up, like he was just the opposite of everything that we are.
Yeah.
And he was talking junk about Jackson. And just like, he doesn't need to be on the field. He's too big to be running around or whatever. And I was like, babe, you've got 1 foot. Brian doesn't get riled up really
No,
easily.
that's why I was so
Yeah,
surprised. I was
he
like,
doesn't get
whoa.
riled up real easy. Well, there was this other dude his son was on our team too, and he's not like small, but Brian's a big guy.
Mhm.
And this guy was just wiry. And he looked up at that dude and he said, "Come on, bruh, you ain't that big." Like he was having Brian's back, and I was like, this is why we can't have nice things. But the other guy just like went to the other side of the field and didn't say anything else.
Well, that was probably smart of him.
Right. That's when we say adults ruin youth sports.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Awful.
yeah. So
Do you want to do Am I the a-hole? Because I think
absolutely.
I have proved that I am the a-hole today. So we can judge other people.
Let's
Just me.
judge some people.
All right. You want to read?
Sure. Am I the a-hole for having my kid pulled over by a police officer? I'm going to go ahead and say no. Okay, here we go. My work has me interacting with cops often, and a few of them are my friends. My daughter got her license through the school, and she's not a good driver. I will never go through this driving school again. Instead, the rest of the kids. Wait!
Okay. I will never go through this school again, and instead, the rest of the kids need to pass through the DMV. So I guess she has additional children,
Okay.
is what I would assume.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not going to use the school again. We're going through official channels.
Right.
I'm with us now. Okay. I notice she doesn't use her turn signal and has a bad habit of speeding. I've sat her down multiple times, but she doesn't think it's a big deal. I have grounded her. Also, when I catch her, I'm very close to taking her car privileges away. I was venting about this to one of my cop friends. He told me he's willing to hang out one day by our place, that seeing cops in the area could deter people. Thought it would be a good idea. He pulled my daughter over last night. She was speeding in a 15-mile area. I guess 15 miles per hour area.
Mm-hmm.
She got a warning and lectured by him. My daughter told us the name, and my wife recognized it as my friend's. She asked if I had anything to do about it and told her that he offered to be around our area. We got into a huge argument, and she thinks I'm a huge jerk. My daughter's blaming me for getting pulled over. I pointed out if she wasn't speeding, this wouldn't have been an issue. Am I the a-hole?
I don't believe so. I think it's a good lesson,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know.
Well, I feel like this parent has tried, like
Yes.
sat them down,
Yeah.
tried to have some conversations. Now, who knows what the conversations have been
Right.
like, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard communicating to teenagers.
Right. I honestly, I think that's a good lesson for her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if it's a family friend or like the cop's a friend of the dad, like
Yeah.
at least it wasn't one of these cops that go like
Right.
bananas.
Right.
Hopefully she was respectful during the
Right.
stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
but we have cops that sit in our neighborhood and look for people that are either one speeding because it's 25 miles an hour in our
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood or running stop signs. And they'll sit hiding
Yep.
at the turn because a lot of people run the stop sign like going out of the neighborhood. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
scares me.
Right.
But you see a police officer and you immediately, I don't know if you do, I immediately feel guilty, like, or
Yeah.
like I'm doing
Well,
something
and
wrong.
even if I'm not speeding, I slam on the brakes.
Yeah, me
And I'm
too.
like, "Well,
Yeah,
I'm not speeding at this moment." So, but yeah, I know. It's nerve-wracking. So hopefully this will be a good lesson to teach her to not speed
yeah.
and do and to make sure she uses her signal and all that kind of stuff.
See, Dylan, when he did get his license through the driving school.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher at the driver school was actually the football coach at Clover High School.
Yeah.
So that was like he was very good with Dylan, like super,
Good.
super good.
Good.
And Dylan felt so comfortable for his driver's test
Mm-hmm.
at the school versus going to the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
So he had done the course a million times.
Right.
He
Right.
was ready.
Yeah.
I don't know the course that the DMV takes, and so
Yeah.
I'm glad that we had the option to do it through the school. But
Yeah.
obviously, their school was not as good as the school we went to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the girl, a lot of kids just don't care.
I worry now about the phones. Like,
Yes.
that's my thing. And, as much as Jackson's not driving yet, but we just, don't play with your phone. Don't have your phone. Don't have your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I know. But I don't think, back to this, I don't think that the parent is an a-hole.
No, not at all.
And I don't think the cop's an a-hole for helping.
No, I don't either.
I would rather have this situation than the person continue to speed and have poor driving habits and get a call from a coroner.
Amen.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, there is one more.
Okay, I'll read this one too because I did a bad job and I need to redeem myself. Okay. Am I the a-hole for not giving my cat away even though my neighbor's kids are allergic to him? I got a little cat, LIL. I got a little cat almost a year ago now. We live in a house decided to 2 apartments.
I think you're not reading bad. I think that the people type bad.
Okay.
We live in a house divided, yeah.
Into 2 apartments. My neighbors, see, this is what I mean. I'm black and white. This is what I see, so this is what I say. Okay. My neighbors live upstairs and didn't have an issue with their cat. Recently, I allowed my cat to go downstairs where the basement is. He likes it there because there are a lot of spiders, and I think he likes to hunt. I don't know. He's scared of going outside, so that's what he does. And went up 2 times because he was curious, which was wrong. I know. 2 weeks ago, okay, so he went up 2 times to the neighbors' areas.
Uh-huh.
2 weeks ago, the neighbor knocked on our door and was like, "My kids have really bad allergies of hair from animals." So then I said, "Fine, we're not going to let him go out again." My cat always meows now and annoys us because he want to go downstairs, but we don't let him go anymore. Now someone was like, "Why don't you give him away or bring him to an animal shelter?" Because I think, why should I change my life for someone else? I already try my best to keep the hair away. I clean a lot and don't let him go downstairs. Am I the a-hole?
I
No, but you're very ignorant.
I
I'm just kidding.
I love the reading.
The infliction. Mm-hmm.
I I have like a serious cat people don't like come for me, but I'm one not a cat person,
Mm-hmm.
but I cannot stand people having outdoor cat pets. Like they're not your pets, they're strays. They go all over.
Yeah.
I cannot stand it. We have so many in our neighborhood,
Yeah.
and they're like, if you see my cat, I'm like, keep your freaking
Yeah.
cat
Yeah.
contained.
Yeah.
Like I will be walking and like they'll just like pop out of the gutters. Like and they're people's like pets. Like they're not like just strays.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand people that
Just don't take care of their animals.
yes.
Well, this one liked to go hunt the spiders in the basement.
But if your apartment is just like this area,
Yeah.
your cat should be in this
Agreed.
area.
Agreed.
Is the basement like a shared place? Is
Right.
that
I feel like it's a shared space with like laundry and stuff
right?
is.
So like so the cat shouldn't be. I don't feel like the cat should be in a shared place, but I don't think he should give it away. I think he should just.
I don't think that makes him an a-hole though.
No, I think he should contain his
Right.
animal in his own space
Yes.
and deal with his meowing or whatever it's doing now.
He always meows and annoys us because he want to go downstairs, but we don't let him go anymore.
Also, get the dang thing some toys or
Right, one of those little tower things
yeah.
cats jump on.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
a cat.
do. I don't. Maybe he is or she, whoever, an a-hole because that is disrespectful, especially if they're allergic and you're.
Well, so they didn't know it. They said
Yeah,
they didn't until the cat went up to the other apartment, which is wrong.
definitely a no-no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't have a problem with it. I guess going in the basement. I don't know, but either way, like your apartment is where your little cat's home is. To me, it's what I feel like.
Yeah. So I'm sorry he's meowing a lot,
If
but
I was in an apartment that allowed animals
hmm
and somebody was allergic to dogs, not that I have Rex going, but he wouldn't be like roaming,
right.
but I mean, he would still have to go in the hallways and stuff. I would tell the person to go kick rocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my thing is you're an apartment. Apparently there's no rule on it, but you know you're allergic. That's some of that's your fault
Yeah.
too.
Hmm.
Because you need to be in a specific place
Right.
then where I just think there's a lot of bad choices here, and one of them is in his grammar. I'm not going to change my live, for someone else. I already try my best to keep the hair away. Yeah. I mean, that's not very respectful. So I kind of do feel like I don't think you should give him away, but I think he's being an a-hole for not being respectful of the other
Right.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't stand stray cat or not stray cats, like outdoor pets.
Yeah.
And then I feel that's not just for cats. Like when
Uh-huh.
people have dogs that are
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Rex gets pampered, so I can't really. I don't know.
I no, I get it. Like you see the dogs that are on the run and they have like
All day, but they don't ever go
they
inside.
don't ever go inside and they have like the dirt where they run is I know, it's so
It
terrible.
makes me so sad.
There was so you know how they say like in the winter time if you're cold, they're cold. What did Mike Houston put something the other day on Facebook? Oh, it was that alligator I posted. And he was like, if you're hot, they're hot, they need to be inside. I was like,
Nope.
Mike.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
no, well, we did have a husky growing up,
Yeah,
which refused to go inside. It hated being inside.
yeah.
Hated it.
Even in the summer?
It hated it.
Yeah,
Would not go inside.
yeah,
And so we did have an outside dog, but it literally refused to go inside the
yeah,
house.
yeah. We had a beagle like that
Yeah.
we rescued and went and come inside. And when it would storm like really, really bad, I'd almost force him to come in and just like let him have the laundry room.
Hmm.
But yeah,
We would bring him inside and he would like scratch and try to
just
chew his way
anxious.
out.
Yeah.
Although my sister brought home a stupid cat, evil thing, and the cat would sit at the sliding glass door and just like taunt the dog.
Oh my gosh.
And the screen door was just closed, like not the glass door, and the dog went
Oh,
right through, broke,
through it.
yeah, broke his lead, and I mean, like chased the cat up, I mean, throughout the whole house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Sounds like a cartoon.
yeah, my life.
Oh,
All right.
I still like this segment though, so we're definitely keeping this in here.
Seems like people like it. So.
Yes, yes. And the clips that you've posted are really funny with you. So so keep posting them. So if you guys haven't seen the clips where we talk about it, make sure to go find us on our socials.
And let us know what you think. Oh, and
Yep,
please leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on.
please.
We would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let us know if you want us to do a after hours episode where it could get a little spicier.
Yeah,
I don't know if that will like release that as a podcast. We might do that as like
some kind of bonus
a
step
live,
somehow. Yeah. Oh,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we can do like a live in either our Facebook group or
Yeah,
Instagram or something where
yeah.
you guys can join us. But yeah, I think that would be fun. So let us know if you guys want us to do that.
Yep.
And
Sounds good.
please like, share on all of the things.
That is it.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.